If you wanted to capture Big East basketball in 40 minutes, that was it. It was hard for both teams to score on both ends, and did we miss some open shots, or did they miss some open shots? Yes, but open shots were also really hard to come by on both ends of the floor. I felt really good where we were at halftime. I felt like they were taking more of the shots we wanted them to take. Sanogo made 3, fouled on a 3-point shot. That was 12 of their 29 points. I thought the combination of Trey and R2 and Sharif, especially off the bench, did a great job on Jordan Hawkins, making him really work for his 11 points. Really, really proud of our group.
All right, we'll do 5 minutes questions for Creighton student athletes first.
Trey, Mac mentions the matchup with Hawkins. I guess how much did you maybe take that personally? Because it felt like even though you were in foul trouble for a lot of that, the minutes you did play against him, you locked him down and you took the shot making really serious.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of one of those things like where somebody has kind of the hype around his name that he does, and then you take the matchups as how we took it tonight was kind of personal, considering the fact they beat us at their house. And then, just coming into our building, we knew that we were trying to impose our will early, and I knew for us to do that we had to be able to stop him early because he likes to get going early. And he comes off a lot of screens, so, I was just trying to be able to chase him off of most of those screens and really just knock him out of rhythm and really kind of messed up their offense in the beginning of the game. I felt like that's why we got out to an early lead and we were able to, be able to run the transition early. So
I felt like every possession in the second half was a war. What did it take to win that game?
It took a lot of grit. I think that coming down, Kalk made some big plays. I think that he did a good job of keeping it out of there down the stretch, and I feel like that's really what kind of separated it. Obviously, Reef came in and gave us some big minutes. Baylor made some big shots down the stretch. I just felt like it was really just a team effort. I feel like as a whole, like we really stayed together and we believed the whole game we could win it, even down to when it was tied up.
Baylor?
Yeah, kind of just going off what he said, took grit and just stops and rebounds. Obviously, like the final 6 minutes, they shot it and everyone pretty much was just attacking the ball. It was just a complete war down underneath the rim, and fortunate enough, we got a few more and were able to get the dub.
Baylor, are you guys becoming comfortable in these types of grinded out and down to the wire games that you were losing earlier in the season?
Yeah, I think so, and it's just part of playing college basketball. You got to be able to win games different ways. You got to be able to win games when it's high scoring or when it's low scoring. So it was good.
Trey, how did you not lose any of your aggressiveness with the foul trouble? It seemed like every time they put you back in the game, you just picked up where you left off.
The coaching staff really talked to me about just keeping my energy up. And, when you keep your energy up on the bench, it somehow ends up working in your favor when you get back in the game. So, just trying to cheer on my teammates while I wasn't in there really helped my confidence, and obviously it helped theirs when I was out. So, it really just did a lot for me, was trying to stay positive. So that was a big part of it.
Trey, I saw at the end of the game, did the little, like the too short notion with the stomp, but what's that about?
They were just calling us too small at their place, and then we kind of, like we said, we took that personal. And so obviously, like, coming to our place, we knew we were going to have a grinded out game. We were going to be able to play our brand of basketball, and so we were just able to do that. We try not to get too much into that because, it's just basketball. It's the fun part of basketball. So we like those type of games where we can take it to that level and be able to, go back and forth. So it just makes it more fun.
For both players, how aware are you guys of the Big East standings right now, and what's your take on that going forward?
I don't really know where we're at, but you just got to take it a game at a time. You can't really look ahead to anything. You just got to keep stacking days. We're going to be back in practice tomorrow and get ready for Providence, and it's really all you can do this time of year.
Baylor, we talk about grinding out games and closing games like that, and for a while with Trey foul trouble and foul trouble, you guys had lineups with Mason and Reef. Just talk to me about those guys' development and just grinding it out with those lineups for so long.
Yeah, well, they were huge. Through the whole game, really. They played big minutes, and Mason hit a big shot. Reef had a layup and played great D. Fred hit a big free throw and some rebounds. We have a lot of faith, in everybody on the roster, and when they come in, it's our job. The guys that play a lot of minutes, give them a lot of confidence. We trust in them, and like they show that they can handle it.
One more for the student athletes. Coach talked about it being 40 minutes of a Big East game today. So Baylor, obviously from the Summit League coming to here, this is the kind of games you came to Creighton to play. What was it like out there today?
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. College basketball at a high level. It's what I dreamed of playing. And when I came to Creighton, that's winning these types of games. The crowd was great. It was just all around a great atmosphere for college basketball.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll do about 4 minutes with Coach McDermott.
Coach, 8 straight wins. Seems like the team's playing its best ball right now. What do you think is clicking for them?
Well, I mean, defensively and, except for one stretch in the game, rebounding, we've done a good job in both areas, and those are things that travel away from home as well. And, my guess is Coach Hurley, if you'd have told him we were going to get 56 points, he'd have taken that. And if you'd have told me they were going to get 53, I'd have taken that and thought we'd have an easy win, I think, both ways. But it was they're elite on both ends of the floor. We did a good job, I think, of slowing them down offensively, and they're just really, really hard to score against. So you have to find ways to win sometimes. It's a game of inches. Jordan Hawkins' foot's barely on the line, and sometimes you get a little bit of luck as well.
They entered number 8 in the country offensively, so to hold them to 32% shooting or whatever it was, super impressive.
Yeah,
What was the point of emphasis defensively?
Yeah, I mean, we entered number 13 in defense, so we can play on that end of the floor. So we're confident that if we do our job and we follow our assignments, we can make things tough on our opponents.
Mac, speaking of defense, Ryan Carpenter has that steal, I think, with just over 2 minutes left, and then at the end, the contest on Hawkins where he misses the layup. Is there anything he does now to surprise you these days?
No, and we told him out of the timeout where he got the steal, we had some fouls to give. So we said, you can be aggressive trying to keep it out of his hands because if we get one, we get one. And he just made a great play. And it's why you got to have him on the floor. He impacts the game in a lot of ways, even when he's not scoring points.
Matt, what kind of impact has Sharif given you guys these last 2 games, especially without Farabello and with the foul trouble?
Yeah, Sharif, it's been tough for him this year, being a fourth-year player and not playing a lot. We talked a couple weeks ago, and he let me know he was frustrated, and I understand his frustration. But my message was, are you ready if your number's called? That your responsibility is, it's my decision who I put in the game. You can't control that, but you can control your preparation. And to his credit, he's got himself ready. And then when something happened, he gave us great minutes in the first half at Seton Hall the other night. And Jordan Hawkins wanted nothing to do with him. He was there every time. He avoided screens and just did a terrific job. It changed the game for us.
So much talent on the floor.
To that degree, how much did Mason change the game in the first half? That offensive rebound guy.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, huge. And Mason continues to play better. Hit a big 3 again, and he's growing. You can see his confidence growing on a day-by-day basis, and so the bench was good. Fred gave us some good minutes defensively. Got a big rebound, made a big free throw there. So they're moving the right direction. Those were 7 important points off the bench.
2 more for Coach.
Coach, do you have an update on Farabello and what those minutes will look like for Mason and Sharif when he comes back?
It's hard to say what the minutes are going to look like. He hasn't practiced in 8 days. At least he was at the game today, so he's feeling a little bit better. But he's still, I think, a few days away from practicing. So I'd be surprised if we had him Tuesday.
What did you see from Trey and what he gave you coming back in the game? It didn't feel like he. Foul trouble breaks rhythm, but it didn't seem like it broke his. Yeah,
to his point, he really did a good job of staying engaged on the bench. He was the first guy up when his teammates made a play, and he understands that I trust him, but I also want to make sure I have him for the important times. And he got a couple fouls, just kind of goofy plays that happen once in a while, but he made some huge baskets for us throughout this game.
Max,
Thanks. We got UConn. Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Max.